Your portfolio isn't an art gallery. If you are looking to get work, you don't need more projects. You need a portfolio that actually sells. And today I'm going to show you how to turn your portfolio from a work dump into a money-making machine. When I was starting out, I was stuck in what I called the explore stage. I'd make an image, then I'd slap it in my portfolio. Then I'd make another completely different image and I'd put that in my portfolio too. And the big problem was there was absolutely zero consistency. One day I was testing out how to make a dragon. The next day I was figuring out how to make a car. And then the next day I was trying to make a donut. And as a result, my portfolio ended up looking like a cluttered warehouse when it really should have been looking like a shop window. I was getting very little traction and I was just desperately emailing people saying, here's my work, do you need a 3D artist? Then one day I did my first project that actually got me serious momentum. I just moved to Brighton in the UK and there was a VW festival on. I went down there, I took some photos, I went home and I modeled the VW. I actually recorded the whole process and I posted it years ago. It was one of my first YouTube videos, but I didn't stop there. I created a set of images from it and I wrote a blog post about it. And I shared it across the forums, which at the time was Autodesk Arena. I also created a series of Vespers and I ended up with about 6 pieces of work that functioned like a cohesive series. I basically built all this content around one specific area. And the results were insane. The Vespa ended up on the front cover of Autodesk Arena. The VW ended up on the 3ds Max homepage, and I think it's still there today. And the Vespa also got featured in 3D World magazine. So this momentum was fantastic. But here is where the real magic happened for my business. Because I had created these consistent images, when someone landed on my site, people would instantly be like, oh, that guy creates vehicle renders. So knowingly or not, I had finally chosen my niche. And because of that clarity, people started reaching out to me. And one of those people happened to be the head of design for a super yacht builder who had seen that I created vehicle renders. So I started freelancing for them. And then that single decision ended up with me moving to Monaco and working there for many years. And we actually ended up taking my renders to a finished super yacht. So the massive lesson here is you have to pick a lane, you have to own it and build a body of work around a certain area. When people land on your site, they need to instantly be like, okay, this guy can do the specific thing, instead of just assuming that you're generally okay at a lot of different random things. Which brings us on to the core purpose of a portfolio. It is a business asset, it is not an art gallery. So think of it as a finely tuned sales tool designed to attract the right people and disqualify the wrong ones. Your portfolio has to have 2 critical things to reduce the buyer's cognitive load. So first, it needs to visually reinforce your positioning. It should clearly demonstrate what you do and who you do it for and exactly why someone should hire you. Secondly, you have to prove your capability. It must show consistency, incredible taste, and prove that you understand your client's specific world and you can solve their problems. Just a heads up, this is the first phase of the 3D Artist Roadmap that you can download from the link in the description. So this will take you to the free community where we have weekly coffee hours with industry pros. So go and download that and get involved. You would be crazy not to. But there are 4 common portfolio mistakes. And mistake number 1 is the work dump. Including too much work completely overwhelms the client and it leads to decision fatigue. So you're giving them too many options. So their brain gets overloaded and they just leave. The most quoted author on this channel, James Clear, said this week, when you need clarity, subtract. Mistake number 2 is inconsistent quality. This is a massive trust killer because just one rushed or outdated render can undermine the whole portfolio and make clients completely question your judgment. So if they see a masterpiece next to a potato, they're gonna assume the masterpiece was a total fluke. And if you think about it like this, if you go on a date and you look amazing, but you have spinach in your teeth, all your date is going to look at is that spinach in your teeth, not at how amazing you look. So the same goes for that potato in your portfolio. Mistake number 3 is having no clear audience. A portfolio that is way too broad makes it really difficult for a client to tell what you're actually known for. If you show them a dragon, a car, and a donut, they won't hire you to design their multi-million-dollar project. In Future-Proof 3D Artist, I make an analogy about needing oil for my car and going into the shop and seeing hundreds of bottles of oil, only to feel overwhelmed and nearly walking away until I saw the exact name of my car on the label. And I was like, this is it. This is what I need. And this is exactly how we want our clients to feel. And mistake number 4 is over-designed websites. You need to keep it simple, fast, and mobile friendly. Remember, you are showcasing 3D, not web design. And I know what you're thinking, yeah, Jake, that's great, that worked in your situation, but will it work in my situation? Well, Robin joined Future-Proof 3D Artist. You can check out the link in the description. And his portfolio was made up of images from tutorials. He joined Future-Proof and we got really focused on his niche, and this is what his new portfolio looks like. And since joining Future-Proof, he is now on his 3rd commercial project, and he won Image of the Week on CG Architect. Before that, he had never had a commercial project. So if you are interested in joining Future-Proof, there's a 12-week program where myself and mentors help you build a portfolio, attract clients, and future-proof your 3D career. So how do we fix all this? Well, it all starts with a specific strategy, reverse engineering your portfolio. So step 1 of this strategy is you must build with the client in mind. You have to base your portfolio on what actually works in the real world, not just what you think looks cool. So to do this, you research your dream client, you sit down and you make a list of the exact studios or brands you want to work with. You collect the visuals they already used into a mood board, and then you carefully create your own visual responses based directly on those needs. And this is how you speak their visual language. Recently, I spoke to someone at one of the biggest 3D studios in the world, and they'd reviewed hundreds of CVs and portfolios. And I asked them, what is the one thing 3D artists can do to get an interview? And they said, just make the work look like it wouldn't look out of place on our website. It is as simple as that. So step 2 is developing taste and visual recipes. You need to train your eye by obsessively studying great work. Don't just look at their work and be like, that's nice, or I don't like that. Break down exactly why the work is good by analyzing it. So to be able to create like the greats, you need to be able to describe why it is great. And then that description becomes your visual recipe. And that is what you can apply to your own original work. Now that you've got the right foundation, let's talk about selecting and presenting your projects, because this is where you turn a cold browser into a hot buyer. First, you must create strictly. You only need like 3 to 5 highly focused, intentional pieces. Having just 2 or 3 completed, exceptionally high projects is far, far better than having 10 average ones. But here's the secret sauce that practically forces clients to hand over their money: the PSR framework. Never ever just post a single image with a vague title. That tells the client absolutely nothing. Instead, you have to provide context using the problem, solution, and results. So it works like this. P stands for problem. What was the client actually struggling with? For example, maybe they were struggling to sell units off plan. S stands for solution. How did you fix it? In this case, you created stunning virtual walkthroughs. And finally, R stands for results. What was the tangible business outcome? For example, your work secured $2 million in pre-sales in just 60 days. When you frame your work as a high ROI business solution using this framework, clients are going to stop haggling over your day rate and start seeing you as an investment. And then finally, we have to look at setting up our container, which is actually your website. So your ultimate goal here is to remove friction. The very moment a client lands on your site, you should instantly see beautiful work without having to click around and hunt for it. But more importantly, you need to control the environment. And this is going to sound crazy, but avoid sending your potential clients to a Behance portfolio where they will instantly be distracted by a sea of your competitors. So instead, just simply sync your Behance with a dedicated site like Adobe Portfolio, so the only option on screen is you. And to seal the deal, you've got to include trust indicators. So add a picture of yourself. If I can't see you, I'm not giving you any money. Make yourself look approachable and human by including a friendly photo of yourself on the contact page. Then subtly sprinkle in past clients' logos, glowing testimonials, and any awards you've won. These reassure the client that you are reliable and can actually get the job done. If they see familiar companies that you've worked with and you've managed to deliver, then they're going to feel like you can do the same for them. And lastly, make it incredibly easy for them to contact you. You can provide a direct email, you can put a form on your site. I mean, you could even put a book a call link on there. So when you put all these pieces together, you're going to be miles ahead of just uploading and hoping. We go a whole lot deeper into all of this in Future-Proofed. The link is in the description. Watch more videos, join the community, and I'll see you next week.